It's called Spotters. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Ibrahim and Raymond. Before we actually demo, if there's any questions, I'll open up the floor here just to actually just go ahead and introduce yourselves. And after you guys demo, we'll open up the floor for questions. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good. So,
All right, cool.
I think I will start
go ahead, Raymond.
since Ibrahim will like take the first slides. So my name is Raymond. I'm a fellow. I'm a Pursuit alumni. I was in the Pursuit 5.3 class, iOS class, and I graduated last year. Ever since, myself and Ibrahim has been collaborating together on this project, as well as like working with other people, other experienced engineers to like build this project as a startup. So we've been working on this project for like a year, last part-time project. But right now we are trying to like be more focused and like more serious with like the project and like actually get it to like more users, like get more testing. So we are actually happy to like demo today. So demo, Ibrahim.
Yeah. So hi everybody. My name is Ibrahim. As they mentioned, 5.3 cohort from iOS, and yeah, we've been working on this for a pretty while, like a good time now. And I think presenting it to you guys would not only be beneficial to us, but beneficial to the app in general, just to show what you guys how the user experience is and how to be able to improve upon it. So I hope you guys like it and enjoy it, because I think once when we first started this project, we was going through like a bunch of other ideas, but then I think this one solidified in us because we kind of had like an interest in like fitness, and we had like an interest of like seeing how we could bring the community along with it too. So I'll share my screen and I'll just talk more about what Spotters is and the whole demo and everything. So let me share my screen. So can everybody see the screen? Okay, cool. So yeah, so Spotters is a fitness-based application that uses your workout preferences to provide you the ideal fitness partner. So as we go through these slides, you'll know more about how that resonates within the application and within the community, because like our motto says, build a better you and the fitness network you want to be a part of. So in today's days, like one of the biggest problems we have is that commitment issues and confusion. Commitment issues in the sense of when people decide like they want to work out, they want to be healthy, they tend to lose motivation pretty early just because they don't get the results that they want at a much faster rate, especially since how the media kind of like sells them of like, you know, lose weight in 30 days or do like this quick little fit tea and you'll be able to look how you want, but you just don't do that. And the lack of accountability, since people, when they first start off, they don't create SMART goals in a sense that allows them to, you know, keep themselves accountable. So that's why they tend to like give up right away or not be able to, you know, meet the goals that they want to. And confusion, like how I mentioned before, is like the lack of information in the sense of what workouts do I need to do to achieve this certain goal? Like, let's say I want to tone up. How do I even go about doing that? What are the workouts I need? And what does that entail? And the no guidance means basically not being able to like having somebody there to assist you as you want to like work out. Like I can't mention how many times I would go to the gym, I would see this weird machine, and rather than trying it out, I would just go to the treadmill just because I don't want to hurt myself or I don't want to, you know, look very silly on it. So imagine having somebody that's there to assist you in that, just to like spot you, so that way you could, you know, get the gains you want. So here's where Spotters comes in. Spotters allows you, like I mentioned before, to find you the ideal fitness partner based off of like your preferences and your criteria. So with those preferences, you're not just going to the gym with somebody and then you guys do your own separate thing. Because I know sometimes when I work out with people, they have like their own goals in mind. But with us, you have a fitness partner that is with like the same goals. So it kind of motivates you to continuously working, and it keeps you more accountable because you guys are working towards the same goal. Kind of like how at Pursuit, we work towards the same goal. We kind of get more competitive as we learn more things so we can show off exactly how much we know. So it's just like the whole idea of like when you work together, you get the best results. As far as like managing, you're able to create your own personalized workout routine based off like your preferences and your idea of fitness goal. So like how I mentioned before is like you can now keep yourself more accountable and you know exactly what workouts you do in order to, you know, tone up. As far as tracking, it helps you create It helps you track like your eating habits, because like we all know, when it comes to being fit, it's about 80% of what you eat rather than how much you work out. So essentially, yeah. So this is Brandon. He's basically an all-out student. He works, he goes to school, he constantly develop apps, but he has a hard time committing to his fitness goals. So what does he do? He downloads the Spotters app, and the Spotters app, because of these results, he's able to not only find the ideal fitness partner for him, but he's also able to keep himself accountable by creating his own workout routines and able to track his meals with his food journal. So we're just going to go through the app right now to show you guys exactly how that Tales. So
Yeah.
I'll have Raymond share his screen, and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you so much for that. So when you launch the app for the first time, let me hide this real quick. Yes. So when you launch the app for the first time, this is the screen that is presented to you. You can either sign in or like create an account. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to create an account for myself. So to create an account, you can either use your Facebook or like your Gmail account, or like just like use regular email and password. So I'm going to say drock@gmail.com. At gmail.com. My password is, I'm not going to tell you guys, but so when you it will ask you for your first name, your profile picture, your age, your gender. So for me, my profile picture is going to be drock right here. My name is drock. I'm 21 years old, and my gender is I'm a male, I'm a guy. So now the next screen will ask you, what is your goal? Like, what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to tune up? Are you trying to build endurance or like stability and strength? For me, I'm trying to tune up. Then the next question will be like, what's my fitness level? So we can match you with like someone that is in like the same fitness level as you are. So you don't get matched with someone like who is like way experienced. Then you guys start working together and you feel out of place. We want to connect you with like someone of who is like the same level as you are, so you guys will be able to like motivate each other and hold each other accountable. So I'm a fitness expert. Then it asks me how tall I am. So I'm 6 feet tall. My weight is 200 pounds. Then what days do I like to work out? So for me, I like to work out on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Like, do I have a gym membership? If I have a gym membership, then maybe if I don't have a gym membership, maybe we can connect you to someone who has a gym membership. So you don't even need to like pay for the gym membership, because the person can give you like a guest pass. So for me, I don't have a gym membership. So then we now ask you like, who is your ideal fitness partner? Like, who do you want to work out with? We understand that maybe the ladies might feel comfortable working out only females, or maybe the men might feel comfortable working out with only like fellow men, or that. So for me, my ideal fitness partner will be someone who is like my age range, between my gender, I can work out with anybody. My preferred distance, so the preferred distance is like how far is my ideal workout partner from me. So I say like 4 miles, and this will now bring me to the home screen right there. So the home screen, the screen that you are presented with, is a discover screen where you can see people that potential workout partners that you can work out with. All these people right here are people that I can potentially work out with. These are different people that I can potentially work out with. So if I want to see more information about the person, I can click on the view profile button to like see more information about the person. I can see the person's name, where they are located, like their fitness goal, their gender, if they have a gym membership or not. then I can say I like Stormzy. I think Stormzy's goal of like tuning up aligns to mine. So I want to send Stormzy a workout request. So I say, hey, Stormzy. So I send Stormzy a workout request. The stimulator doesn't enable push notifications, but on regular device, Stormzy's account right here, Stormzy gets a push notification saying that someone wants to work out with him. So right here, Stormzy sees the workout request I sent to him. Right here. So it says, hey Stormzy, would you want to work out? So if I accept or decline, if I accept, I will be able to Stormzy will be able to send me a message to like schedule a time we want to work out. If I decline, Stormzy won't be able to work out with me. So for this case, I will accept and say I want to work out with Stormzy. So if I come here, I can send Stormzy a message saying, hey Stormzy, Stormzy on his own end will see my message asking him when I want to work out. So I can say tomorrow at 6 p.m. right here. So Stormzy on his end will see my message saying he's available to work out tomorrow at 6 p.m. So the conversation can go on. Another benefit that we have is before I send Stormzy a workout request, I can try to see if Stormzy is a catfish account or not by seeing more content that Stormzy posted of himself. Oh, we already took Stormzy's card out. Sorry, guys. So like when you match with someone, we take out the card. So, sorry. So this is Stormzy. Before I send Stormzy the workout request, I can see like more content that more highlights that Stormzy created of himself by clicking on this to see like more content, like video recordings of Stormzy working out or like just regular workout pictures that Stormzy posted of himself before I even send out like the workout request. So the additional feature that we have is the activity. So you're able to either track your eating habits or like just like workout routine, like create a workout routine for yourself so that fits your schedule. So if I come on the activity tab, I have two options right here, workout routine or like calories tracker. By default, all of them are empty. So for me to create this, for me to create a workout routine, I need to press on the press button, the add button to create a workout routine for myself. So when I come here, I say this is demo routine and say I want to work out on Wednesdays. And the body part I want to work out on Wednesday is chest. I can click the exercises that I want to do. I want to work out on that day. So say I want to do weighted chin up. I can say I want to do dumbbell coil as well. Then for each exercise I can set how many reps I want to do for that day. Say I want to do 3 reps and 10 reps per set. Say I want to do 3 sets and 10 reps per set. That my workout time, the time I want to work out is say 11:30. That's the time I will be able to work out. So I create a daily task. I can decide, like, depending on my schedule, I can like set a task to like at least something to do every day, or I can just set like one day depending on like my schedule. So for this plan, I'm just going to like create one more day. So this is going to be back. I'm just going to do one exercise for this one. The time I want to work out is this 3 right here. And then I create my plan. So my plan has been created. So if I come here, this shows me me like my weekly goal. So now this plan right here is my weekly goal. Until I change it, this is going to be like my weekly goal. Every week, the app will hold me accountable that I'm working out on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And on Wednesday, I'm doing chest. And on Thursdays, I'm doing back. Since today is Wednesday, it indicates that I haven't completed the task for today. So it will show today is like Wednesday as pending. So if I come here, I can see like, okay, these are the exercises that I'm doing for today. This is the time that I'm working out. And say I'm at the gym, I just finished working out. I can say complete task to complete the task. So when I complete task, this will not indicate that, okay, you've completed today's workout. Then when I come back here, it will reflect on my percentage of completion for this week's start, that is 50% complete. You can also see the exercises that you are working out for that day. So if you launch the app activity screen by default, say since today is Wednesday, I will be able to see the exercises that I'm working out for that day. I can click on them to like see more description about them, number of sets that I'm doing, the number of reps, and say I want to like record my workout time. I can also press the start button to like record the time that I'm working, the times that I'm contributing towards my fitness goal. So if I press stop and save, say I'm done, and I save my workout time, this information will reflect on my this week's goal. So this will show you like how many hours or how many seconds or how many minutes that you worked out this week. And this amount will equally reflect on your profile. It will equally be added to your profile. That these are the amount of times that I've worked out overall. These are the times that, this is the amount of time that I've used on the app to like work out. Then say I want to like track my meal calories, I can equally say track meal and say take a picture of the meal if I want to. So I'm just going to say this is rice. I add this for breakfast today, and say I add it for breakfast. It was an homemade meal. Then I can add in the number of calories and say it's add 50 calories right here. I can add more and say, oh, I add ideas, guys. I add bread and I add this for lunch. And say I had this for lunch, and this was like snack. I don't know. This was like snack, and the number of calories was 200. So if I come here, this will give me a visual representation on like what kind of food I'm taking that gives me like the most calories. So you can see that snacks gives like the most calories. It has like 80% calories. Homemade food only gives me like 20% calories. So if I'm someone that is trying to lose weight, then I will need to like cut down on like the number of bread I take, right? Or if I'm someone that is trying to gain weight, then that means I might need to like increase my diet to like take more bread. And yeah, so if I want to create an highlight as well, say I want to create an highlight and I want more people to like see more of me before probably sending me like a workout request, I can come here. Ideally, this is supposed to be like the camera view, but since we are using the stimulator, the camera view is blank. But like if you use the actual device, you are able to like actually record a video or like import a video from your device. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to import a video from my device right here, and I will be able to see more. I'll be able to see any image that I want to put on my highlight. Right here, I'm going to take this picture of myself and say I can crop it. So it will give me this preview where I can like add filters to the image. Where I can add, by swiping, I can add filters to the image. I can download the filtered image to my local device. I can cancel or I can post. So if I post right here, people that will see my card on the home view, people that will see my card on their Discover view will be able to like see more the highlights that I created and see more content about me before actually sending me a workout request. So yeah, that is all the demo. Then an additional feature that we have is, let's say you know someone, your friend, and you want to work out with the person, you want to send the person a workout request. Another feature that we have is we have a personalized QR code that is attached to your profile. So if you come on here, you'll be able to show your friend your QR code, and on their own app, they will be able to click on the camera icon right here to scan your profile and send you a workout request without having to go through all the cards. They can easily take your QR code, open the camera feature on their app, and like send you a workout request. Scan your profile and send you a workout request. I think that's the most important stuff on the app so far. Thank you so much for your time, and I guess I will give it back to Ibrahim.
Yeah, thank you, Raymond. So I think I'll just share my screen afterwards.
Yeah, let me stop. How can I stop mine? Alex, can you stop for me? Stop sharing mine.
There's a stop share at the bottom, you said?
I said, can you stop sharing for me?
At the top, do you see the Zoom panel at the top?
Yeah, do you see like the tab bar?
Oh, yeah. So
you Zoom so much you forgot.
I'm always on the
No.
Oh, yeah, I'm always on the organizing end. I'm really yeah. Thank you guys.
This is very good, very good. Ibrahim, you're continuing with
Yeah, I'm just trying to share my screen. What? Share. So yeah, thank you guys and everything. That's our demo. So I guess we'll leave it to questions, concerns, feedback, anything.
First of all, a job well done. I really like the app. The UI is very clean. Really, really
Thank
clean.
you.
I really like it. You guys work with a designer, or Mr. Ibrahim was the designer, obviously?
So so with that, it was like a constant of back and forth of like seeing exactly how we want to design this out. So during the first stages, I was designing it out myself, but then Raymond found this guy randomly on Twitter, just like how you mentioned everything, and then we kind of reached out to him, and he kind of like helped us along throughout like the process, and then I was just giving like him feedback of like how this should be of like, and then we really try to take into consideration of like how that process should be from the onboarding to as people like navigate throughout the app. So so like as Raymond was mentioning, like what are some of the key things that people are going to be focused on more, and we try to highlight that those experiences, trying to make it clean and straightforward as possible.
Yeah, and I think one of the challenges that we face, or like one of the reasons why it took us so long to actually come up with like what we currently have, is because at the beginning of the project, we are more focused on like connecting people to like workout partners. But then we are scared that it could be, people will just see it as another connectivity app like Tinder or any of those. So that was when we started changing things along the line, like what can we do to like make not just connect people to workout partners, but like to actually help them stay committed to their fitness goals. So we had to like constantly change, set deadlines, like change the designs back and forth. But we are happy to be here today.
Very good. Any questions before? Because I'll just keep going with questions here. Questions from the audience?
I'm curious about a few things, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, that's fine.
When you're filtering users to try and find a match, I'm wondering if you've taken like, I forget what the specific term is, but is the matching algorithm vague at all? So in case there's not users within a certain criteria, it can go outside those bounds?
Right now, if you paid attention to like these cards on the cards available to D-Rock, you will notice that there was really no close match with like what D-Rock was trying to do, mostly because right now we tweaked our algorithm in a way that it kind of like presents all the cards for now because we don't have enough users to like filter through. Or once we start getting like more users, like the algorithm will like be tailored to like be the algorithm will like be optimized to meet the specific information that you provided on the onboarding process. But then we also have like edits feature where you can edit as time goes on, people's preferences change. So they can either increase their workout, their fitness level, or like even like their ideal workout partner information. Like, okay, maybe working with only guys is not ideal. I'm open to like working with everybody and anybody. So they can change all those parameters. And the more they change those parameters, the more cards that will be available to them. So they are able to like change those. They are able to like edit their preferences, basically.
Cool. So on top of, to piggyback on Greg's question, at some point, are you guys going to add machine learning as more users come in so that the recommendations becomes more fine-tuned?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. One of the things that we wanted to do when we started out with like when we started trying to like write out the the matchmaking algorithm, we wanted to do the machine learning stuff, but we also understand from our research that the machine learning might take us a while to actually master. So we wanted to launch the product back in December. So we figured with the time frame that we have, we should just do something. We should just do what we currently have, like just write it the traditional way. And as we go along, we will improve on we implement the machine learning.
Yeah, and I think to piggyback on that as well, because I think during the time when we was doing like research, we were trying to figure out exactly like which machine learning was not only something that worked, but something that was like good for like long term. Since sometimes if you want to like do like cross platforming, like is that machine learning software able to be compatible with like either like other devices, or can it expand like beyond what it currently does from, I guess, like from what we're trying to do? Because some of the tutorials out there, it kind of like teaches you certain ways, but when you want to do something specific, it's obviously not going to be out there. You have to do like a lot of trial and error. But you know, for this case, since we were at like a certain scope in mind of like how we wanted to finish this project, and we know that machine learning, you first have to teach it all these things first in order to actually understand like what it actually is. So with that, I think it was like probably like waiting until we get like funding so we can hire people that know how to do it already, rather than having that much legwork for us to do it ourselves.
Got it. Is the app on the store, or is it still in beta testing?
Yeah, so currently right now it is in a test flight, and I think right now we are talking about when should we launch it, and right now we're just trying to get certain pieces involved right now, just so that way we could like launch it with a better sense of like UI and user experience. So it's going to the App Store pretty soon.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges that we've been facing this past month, mostly since the beginning of the pandemic, is the gyms are closed. So if you're releasing a product like this to the App Store at this point, it might be dead on arrival because people are finding it hard. People can't go to the gyms at this point. So we are currently on the background. We are currently working on implementing the video, like a video calling stuff. So people will be able to like work out together remotely. But like that's like a feature that we are working on the background. We push this to test flight to have more people to test. So we can actually get like real user feedback. And so far we've been getting really, really good feedback so far of like the user experience of the idea as a whole. And we just need like more testers to like test the app and like just give like real user feedback at this point.
That was also the question I was going to ask. With the pandemic and everything, how are we planning to do virtual content so that people could work virtually? And I think you just answered that question. So things like having, because the app is about motivation, right? Like motivating people to keep working out. Virtually, I could see where you guys could take the app so that I could work out with somebody virtually and have some sort of point system So if I said I'm trying to work out, do dumbbells, whatever, like do 3 dumbbell workouts for the week. Like if I hit my 3 dumbbells, almost like what the Apple Watch does or whatever, like there's rings at the end that I collect or whatever. So it's almost like bragging rights, but you know, people love to see things being completed. So virtually, I think there's a space for that. I don't know how much of dev time is going to take you guys and the projection and everything, but I think that would be ideal to really almost like take the pandemic as an opportunity to even diverse the app even more.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, with that, because being that we we was currently working on a feature, like how Raymond was saying, like, for example, being able to, like, within like the messages, set up your own time to schedule like a virtual workout session with the people that you've matched and like want to work out with. But since we kind of realized that in of itself requires more time and more research and more testing out on our end, just to like make sure like all those kinks work, finding like a good SDK to figure out exactly like how is it compatible with our Swift language and stuff like that. So I think that was like the only thing I think holding us back from fully completing that part, was just like the compatibility of like what our software is out there that could help us create that little virtual FaceTime session, everything, rather than us creating it ourselves, since that would probably take a lot more longer time.
Yeah, and in addition to that, we are using the Agora SDK for the video calling feature, and we constantly run into this problem where if the Agora SDK has like large files, so like when we use the Agora SDK, I can't push anything that I have on my remote branch to GitHub anymore, because like the file is like too large to like be pushed together. So what happened was that we had to, because of like, we already have the project on TestFlight, and we were having like people reporting these bugs, giving us these feedbacks, and we had to like implement those. So we felt like the best way to do it is like just put that as a flag feature and push it to like a safe branch, take the pod out, and just fix those bugs that we currently have, like those bugs that are stopping users from actually experimenting what we currently have. Then later on we can like complete the video calling feature. So that's why the video calling feature is not here today.
I'll keep going with questions unless somebody jumps in.
Yeah, definitely. This is
audience.
This is what we're there for.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
So I see that like it's set up as, I understand that it's set up as like a group or a team workout. Like I work out with you or you work out with me.
Yeah.
But do you guys plan on allowing me to work out with a group, or you know what I'm saying? Like, can I have like a group experience? Meaning like, let's just say like me, Alex, and Greg wanted to have a group workout. We'll have. You get what I'm saying? Like instead of. Yeah.
So
also like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you can go ahead first.
No, because I think to answer that question, when I was reaching out to people just to get more testers and more users and like hearing their feedback, they did mention actually something like that. And I think when it comes to like what Spotters is, we're trying to be essentially like the fitness group, like the Facebook group for fitness in a sense. So it's like we want to create something like that in a sense of like where you could add more people, like let's do like a group thing. So I think it's going to be in certain phases of like how we set this off. So I think if we try to perfect what we have now, is like, let's see about like the one-on-ones and like how well that does. And then based off of like how big this community grows, then we could definitely like add that in as like an addition, because a lot of people, they do definitely like to do in like workout groups, and professional trainers tend to do like the whole workout group thing as well too, especially during like the pandemic. Certain fitness people that I follow, they tend to, like that didn't really stop them. They use like Zoom calls, and like they did like a whole workout session from at home with all like their clients and users. So I think something like that is definitely possible, probably in like a different phase after we perfect this one. And what was your second question?
The second question, I wanted to know, 1 second. It was, first I asked about groups, correct?
Yep.
And then, my bad, I just had it too.
You can come back. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and in addition to what
I remember.
Ibrahim said, is I think I also see where that idea can fit in, where we can allow users to like create like challenges, like let's say what is it called? The ladies can say July yoga challenge, right? Then when you come on the platform, you'll be able to see trending challenges that you can actually follow and actually be part of, right? So I think I see where like that, I see how we can even navigate like the idea that you talked about group workouts.
But that's version 1, right? Correct. Version 1 launching soon to the App Store, and obviously you have a lot of Icebox features you want to implement as well. So one of the questions too is, so with Stormzy, right? I saw you collaborated with Stormzy, but you were not able to collaborate with a workout or make a workout together. Is that a thing you can do now, or like in a future?
One of the things that I actually tried to do, right, was when I create a workout plan, I wanted to be able to like share that plan with a second user, right? Let's say Stormzy and The Rock. If I create a workout plan as The Rock, let's say Stormzy, we got connected, we are working out together. That means that our schedules are the same thing. Like we are all working like same schedule. We are all doing the same exercises since we are workout partners. I feel it won't make sense for Stormzy to like create a workout plan on his own. Then I also had to like create on my own. So there is a property called a shared ID where I will be able to like share my workout routine with Stormzy. The only reason why we are yet to implement that is because we are still contemplating whether we want to allow users to have followers, or we want to allow users to have friends or followers. So if we have users, if we allow users to have friends and followers, that means when they create the workout plan, they can click a button to like add someone to the plan, where that person will actually get the same, that person will be able to like follow the same workout routine. That's the part that we are yet to figure out. But like there is a property like that. There is something like that.
Very good, very good. Audience questions.
Questions, concerns, guys, give us feedbacks.
Next question for me. As I said, I'll just keep shooting questions out.
Question.
Are you guys planning? Go ahead, sorry.
I don't know if it was there, but in the initial setup view controls, was there a back button?
Or
you mean the onboarding?
Yeah, the onboarding. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, I think we didn't set that up yet, but that's like one of the bugs that like one of the feedbacks that we got recently, and I think we was gonna implement that in like the next build that we have on test flight, because we did get like feedback of like people wanting to go back if we didn't like if they press something by mistake. But I think that's why we created the edit profile feature. But Raymond didn't show it off, but essentially you could still change your preferences in your profile if you've like made a mistake and stuff like that. So I think when we first like initially launched it, we just wanted people just to experience the onboarding first, and then if you want to like make any changes, you could just go to your profile and change it up.
Okay.
So good. Questions?
I have a question.
Yes,
so you guys touched on it a little earlier about the whole gym thing and not being able to go to gyms because of the pandemic. But have you guys considered expanding to things like maybe people who want to go on runs with someone, or to just like external exercises like that?
Yeah, so I think like initially, like when we was thinking about this, as soon as like when the pandemic started, I think we were just having like a group meeting and seeing like what do people actually do, like when it comes to, I guess, like working out or just like staying fit, because they have like other applications, they do have like all of those other criteria besides gym, because regardless if you go to a gym or not, at the end of the day you two are still like working out, but just in like a different location. So I think we did plan to think about like adding more features like that, in a sense, because I was creating like a survey so I could send out to more people of like what do they like to do when it comes to like working out or like working out with somebody, so that way we could really see what's actually useful in the app. Because when it came to us and like having these ideas, it would seem like very good ideas, but we really didn't have no outside approval, like in a sense. So I think that's why we really try to hone in on like getting on test flight, actually be able to test it out, because we'll really know exactly like what people like you that just mentioned about what should actually like be on there besides just like the gyms. Because sometimes what if you can't afford a gym, or what if you are not even too far, like or what if you're too far from the gym? So going to like your local park or just working in house, that's like a little stuff you could do just to like get away from that. So I think that's why we didn't have like any specific criteria. But with the gym, it was just like kind of like helping people in a way, like saying, hey, I got like a black card at Planet Fitness, so if you want to come with me, then you definitely can, because I have like that level of access. So I think that's where we added like that, do you have a gym or not, just to help people like ensure and like connect that way.
I have a bit of a question. Feedback point. So I know a couple of friends of mine that I've seen, like when they go on runs, they post their results on Facebook at the end. Like, I ran X amount of miles and burned X amount of calories. I just think that's like a cool feature, right? Because kind of like tying into what Alex said earlier about like bragging rights, like with the Apple Watch and closing the rings, is that you feel good and you probably want to share that info, right? Is that something that you guys have talked about or thought about, like maybe a social media like share button at the end of the workout with the information? Or
so actually, yes, we did. I actually even installed the Facebook Share SDK. But at that point in time, we were contemplating, okay, what kind of information do we want them to like share on the platform, right? At that time, we didn't really get this idea on like what Alex touched on, like the bragging right, or like what you just touched on, like they will be able to like share their progress on Facebook and all that. That's one of the challenges that we've been facing in this project, right? We started this project off as like just the connectivity part, like connecting people to workout partners. But then as we go along the way, we started getting like this feedback from like family and friends, people like Alex, Alan, that we've been talking to, like, okay, but if you guys are just connecting them, then that means it could be like another thing, that, right? What other features can you guys add on that will make it, that will hold them accountable, that will help them to like become the best version of themselves, fitness wise. So that was where we started adding like all these ideas. So like this process is still more like a product validation process for me. We'll be getting like more feedbacks. We appreciate all the feedbacks that you guys are giving us, and also the feedbacks that other people are giving us. So we are documenting all these features, and we will definitely go back to the drawing board in the coming weeks to like improve on the app and like make the app like more useful. So it's not just going to be another app out there, but like it's a platform, a fitness network that people will be proud of. People can come on the platform and say 6 months later, they can say, oh yes, I came on this platform and I've been able to hold myself accountable and I've become a better version of myself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you, boss. Thank you for the feedback. That was good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because I think, like, I guess touching upon that, like, especially like coming from like Alex's class, and like something he would always like mention to us is like, make sure like when you're, I guess, like building applications, try to focus on its main goal of the app, because when you try to add too many features, you end up, I guess, losing like the whole sole purpose of like what the app actually does in a sense like that. Because we're not trying to be like the next Facebook where it has like all these like so many things you don't even know like what's going on, all these tabs that do weird things in weird sections. I think we're trying to have like a certain theme where it's just like, you know, it's a community-based like application where, yeah, you could find people to work out with, but, you know, like let's add more into the mix of like what she was saying with like the fitness groups, you know, going hiking, all those type of like categories related towards fitness, rather than so many things that might seem cool, but they have no correlation towards each other.
Right, like not at all involved with working out.
yeah, working out or just like staying here or just being healthy in general too, yeah.
So I see you have Facebook sign in, you have Google sign in, right? Currently, it's approved on TestFlight, obviously. But have you tried to do a soft Apple App Store review and see if the app will get approved? Because it needs probably sign in with Apple. That might be something you need.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that was actually one of the feedbacks we got like recently, like had to have like Apple sign in like face recognition. So I think like the face recognition will probably be on hold. But yeah, I think like the Apple sign in will probably be like a requirement. I'll definitely look into like that soft, I guess like that soft release, like from what you were saying.
Like I would just
be a requirement, since you know how Apple is. It's like always
back and I spoke to them like 2 weeks ago about that exact authentication process, and I made sure to ask them, one, if I have email password, am I required to have sign in with Apple? No. If I have Google sign in, am I required to have sign in with Apple? Yes. So you definitely have again, smaller developers like us, they'll be harder. But like the bigger companies, like I think some companies out there still have like sign in with Facebook or whatever, and they're okay.
Yeah.
But I would probably just try to do a soft app review. You could always pull it out. You don't have to push the app, but just see if you get approved there.
Okay, definitely. Thank you.
Because definitely you'll need to have that sign in because they updated the guidelines there.
Okay.
So as far as like priorities for the store, you don't want that to be like a bottleneck.
Yeah.
So because that involves like service stuff too, so you probably want to spend like 2 weeks on that there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
A next question from me. Sorry, I just keep going with questions there.
No.
So as you were adding the calories, right? I didn't see a QR code to like capture the food that you're eating if it has a barcode on it. Is that something that's in there I missed, or is that something you just figured you'll add later?
I actually never thought about that, to be honest.
Yeah, because
I didn't think about it.
Yeah, like I think that probably like I guess blew past us. Like I think like when we was creating like the whole food journal concept, because I think like we wanted to try to like create something in a sense where it's like user friendly, but yeah, like we didn't take that into consideration. So I think we'll definitely add something like that, just because it'll be easier to probably input that information as you're doing it. Because sometimes, you know, when people eat, they have that thing like, you know, have the barcode there where you could just scan it and then it just reads the information for you rather than typing stuff out. So.
And then keeping that information as well, so that if they're trying to do it again, it already is in their history, so they could just like auto-complete it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's actually very, very necessary, mostly because we have a second interface that is currently ongoing, where people will be able to not just get connected to fitness partner, but also fitness trainers as well. We also have part of that interface to include, so we are trying to do a client interface and a fitness trainer interface. So the fitness trainer interface will have fitness trainers get clients, like people that they can potentially train. So those fitness trainers will have fitness programs with like all their clients, and we want them to like be able to see what their client is eating, right? So those, I think having them able to like scan like those products, like will enable the users to like put in as almost all the food that they can eat, because like if they're taking in a snack, like they can easily scan, they don't have to like manually put in like the text and all that. So I think that will come in very handy.
Okay, so you answered my other question, because that was one of my other questions, like are you gonna have dietitians or physical trainers as well on the app, or partnering with physical trainers and stuff like that, personal trainers? You actually answered that, right? So you are doing that in this current for version 1 or later in the future?
So I think, go ahead, Raymond.
Yeah, so for version 1, we try to like separate the app, right? We separated the app just the way Uber has like a driver side and a client side. We already separated the app. So for between now and the end of September, the expectation is that we will have both apps ready, like this app equally polished and like implement all the feedbacks that you guys are giving us, as well as get the fitness trainer interface ready. And in order for us to do that, we understand that the scope of the project has gone beyond what myself and Ibrahim and our third party can do. So we are currently bringing in like I think 3 other engineers to join the platform on a contract base. Some of them are like from Brazil, and we've been like basically working on that. So the fitness trainer interface will be, we are providing fitness trainers with potential clients that they can train, while we are providing the clients who not just like people that they can work out with, but also fitness trainers that can help them meet their that can help them meet their fitness goals.
Awesome. Questions?
I have another question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
No, of course.
So when you were making the workouts, I'm wondering if, well, first question, can you search based on like body part that you want to work out for?
Yeah, definitely. We should add that. I think it's not going to be hard to add that. Just so I add like a search button where they can be able to search based off of like the body part that they want to work on. The only problem, I think the only reason why we didn't add that in this build is because to be honest, it's been very, very hard to like get an API of all the fitness exercises that are available, right? That's like one of the biggest challenges that we've had. We had this meeting with like this company that provides API. They have like a website with like exercises, right? We reached out to them to see, because we wanted to like give users like more content, right? So they'll be able to see videos on how to like do the exercises and not just see names and descriptions of the exercises. They'll be able to see actual videos on how to like use those machines or like how to do the exercises. But then that company that we reached out to, they had the API, but then their videos were outdated, like something that their videos that haven't been updated in the last 20 years, right? Or in the last 10 years. It was the video qualities were bad and all that. So that's why we didn't partner with that company to use their API. And so far we haven't been able to find any API that we can query, or even if it means to pay, right? To like to get all the exercises, we haven't been able to find anyone. So far, everything that we have is like us manually browsing and like just putting in exercises on our database so far. So that's one of the reasons why we didn't add the search button yet.
Can you partner with them just to get the raw data minus the videos? And the videos could be either curated or Mr. Raymond could probably do some of the exercises, or
exactly.
Because the data, the text is there, right? Like a barbell, curl, whatever, right?
Yeah, the names are there. The names are there.
Yeah,
go on.
So with that is like, I think they had like a strict negotiation plan. Like I think they would just stick to like to this contract. It's either like you do this tier, this tier, this tier. So there was like no room for, I guess, negotiation of like, hey, can I just get these and then not the video? So I think that was like one of the most hardest parts, especially since I think most of the feedback like we got was like, hey, can there be like videos or pictures of like them doing like the workouts, since that's what really holds on to like creating like a great experience. Because when I use fitness apps, sometimes I don't even know what that exercise is until like I actually see how it's done. So that way I just get able to do exactly like how it is. So yeah, we've been basically using like this one website I found recently and just copy and pasting, putting our own database, sending it up. So I think in the future we're going to try to create our own API. Hopefully somebody could endorse us so we don't have to do all this work. But yeah.
So with that said, let's take a step back, right? So Sporters is a company, it's incorporated.
Yeah.
And as far as like monetizing, and is there a subscription? Like what is the whole monetization plan? And how are you guys being able to hire developers? Like, is it like, if you guys are able to talk to us about that, is there a business partner? Like, how is it?
For now, the company is registered. We have myself, Ibrahim, and the rest of our team. We have like equal stakes in the company. As far as funding the project, we have one of our partners who is not a dev. He's also like a co-founder in the company who is not a dev. He is financially stable to like take a loan the company a certain amount of money to enable us hire more devs to like actually, because we see that mostly with this COVID-19 times and everything, like with this new world order, we see the product actually generating revenue in the near, like if we can get it out there, like perfect everything that we need to like dot our I's and like cross our T's, we are confident that we'll be able to like, it's something that will be useful to users. So he's loaning the company a certain amount of money for us to like add more developers to the team. And as far as like monetization, like how we want to like make money off the app, we are trying not to, right now, for now, we are trying not to charge the like regular users any money. Like we are not charging them anything to be on the platform. But then that's why our idea changed from like just having a client interface to also having a fitness trainer interface. With the fitness trainer interface, right now we've had like consultations with like fitness trainers, and we've been able to like identify that before the pandemic, when the gyms were open, fitness trainers had the challenge where there is no central software for them to like be able to manage their clients, right? So let's say, Alex, you're a fitness trainer, you're training me. There is no central software for you to like digitally manage me as a client. As a result, they often lose their clients after like the first section. Like their user retention rate is very, very low because there is no software that enables them to better communicate with their clients, better manage their clients, and all those. Then there are also the independent fitness trainers who find it very hard to like actually get clients, because for you to get clients, you need to like be registered with a gym, right? You need to go to the gym. The gym, when a new user registers with the gym connects that user to you, right? So for you to get clients, you need to be with the gym and stuff like that. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to provide the fitness trainer that interface where they will be able to, one, manage their clients and retain their clients, and two, be able to like see a list of clients that they can potentially reach out to and train. Also, another thing is there is an app called Find a Fitness Trainer where you'll be able to find a client, but then for every section, you have to pay 20% of your money. To like, for every section that you train the client for, you have to pay 20% back to the app. So let's say your client you are training that client for 5 sections. You have to pay 20% for each of those sections instead of like a one-time fee. So what we are trying to do on our own end is provide them with a list of clients that they can potentially reach out to. But then they will be able to like create workout programs for that user through the app. So they will be able to like manage their client through the app. That way we'll have like a subscription model, or like just like a one-time payment where for every workout program that they are doing for you, that program can have 50 or like 30 workout section. It doesn't really matter. Like for every workout program that you're doing for the user, we'll take like a certain percentage that will be less than what they are currently used to. So those are like the monetization strategies that we currently have. For now, yeah, those are like the kind of things that we kind of like figured out for now.
Very good.
And that's one of the reasons why we want to get like more developers on board, because we feel like that fitness trainer interface is like very, very necessary to like it to complement like what we currently have, and this part will equally complement the fitness trainer interface. So like they are like intertwined. It's like Uber. Without the drivers, the clients won't succeed. Without the client, the drivers will succeed. Something like that.
Very good. Yeah. What are you looking for in these developers, by the way?
We are looking for someone that is experienced, to be honest, because so far it's myself. Our development team contains myself, Ibrahim, and one other engineer who is like really, really good. I think I told you about him, right? The guy that I met when I went for my interview in San Francisco. So, but he has a full-time job, so he's not able to like contribute as much as myself and Ibrahim in terms of development. But he's the guy that cracks like all the hard code, like when it comes to like implementing all those back-end services and all that. The matchmaking algorithm, he was the one that wrote the matchmaking algorithm as well. So we, as we are expanding, the project is becoming like more robust, and like it will be like we need someone who will be able to like complement him and the rest of us, right? We need someone who is also as experienced as him, so that the workload on him won't be too much, like it will be sustainable. So we are looking for people that are like a little bit more experienced, people that will be able to like complement our weaknesses, and all those kind of things. Like someone like that is a little bit more experienced than us.
Very good, very good. We have time for 2 more questions.
I have a question, if that's fine.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. In regards to forming your company, like, what type of company did you guys form? Like, is it under like a S corp or like a LLC, or like?
Ibrahim, you want to go with that?
No, yeah. I think we did. I believe I have to talk to Patrick. He's our CFO of the company, the one that's been helping us help like with like the finance and everything. So yeah, we chose an S corp for this.
Okay. All right. I guess a follow-up to that would be like when choosing an S corp, did you? I don't exactly know what the liabilities are in regards to like an app, as opposed to because I formed a LLC years ago, but I did it due to liability reasons. I can't think of any offhand, but like, could you think of any like thing far as liability is concerned that would be involved with the app? That like, what are the pros of doing an S corp as opposed to an LLC? Like when it comes to development?
Yeah, I think I probably have to get back to you on that because I think that was like one of the first things we talked about when it came to developing this app and like bringing him on board. Because I think we were trying to figure out exactly like what's gonna be at risk for us. Because like he was saying, if this thing does turn out like very well and like how we expect it to be, then there's probably gonna be a time where we might end up coming with those issues. Like there's no avoiding it and stuff like that. So once when I talk back to him, I'll be able to I guess get you that information of like the differences between an LLC and S corp. So that way, if you're interested in like doing your own thing, then you can definitely look into that as well too. But Raymond, do you have anything or no?
I think potential issues that we might have. I think might be people suing us at some point. That I met this guy through their platform, man, he broke my heart. Like always, people, it's America. People
it's like it's like those little petty things. It's like you can't really avoid. So yeah, it's just like the whole, like the whole being safe, especially like when it comes to the second platform with like the whole trainers, like the transactions. Like, hey, even though I paid for this guy, he wasn't really as good, and sometimes like there's like a whole. I think there's like certain layers and like lists of like what could possibly go down, especially when we was designing out the trainer side of the application. One of the feedbacks like we was getting from one of the trainers that helped us gain information of like what features we should implement was like necessarily like they needed to know medical information about that said person. And I think that was like one of the most biggest parts when it came to, us being like liable toward that type of stuff, because medical is very, very sensitive information. And if you get that information, you have to know exactly like what you're doing with it. So we try to make sure with that iteration of that application, we don't ask any medical information that's very dire or personal, because it could really turn bad on us if that information ends up going out to the wrong people or we get hacked and certain things like that happen. So I think like that's like one of the big things like we try to make sure we take an account for.
Yeah, and from my own experience working on this project this past months, I think something that Lex normally talks in class kind of like played out, where he said it's always good to wireframe the app, like ideate more on the concept and like try to like lay out all the possible scenarios as possible before you like diving into development. I think when we started out the app, myself and Ibrahim, we are more focused on like what we can build as developers as opposed to like the product itself. So that was why after a while we just get into like this dead end where we feel like we can do this, but then is the product like, is this actually useful in terms of like the kind of product that we are trying to build, like in terms of like what we are trying, the kind of tool that we are trying to provide to the users, So when we started working on the fitness trainer interface, we learned from the earlier mistake that we did on the client side, where we just like build based off of like what we are skilled to build. Instead, we sat down with like fitness trainers who actually, we sat down with them on like different occasions to like, okay, what do you want? Like, how do you want these features to look like? Like, what kind of navigation do you want? Like, that meetings were able to like help us lay out all the possible features of the app and how the app can be useful to them. So that interface is like actually fire. Like that one is like fire. I wish I can show you guys, but like that one is fire. Fire.
Awesome. Time for one more question.
Any final questions, thoughts?
Okay, I'll go. One more question from the audience?
Can I go?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I've already asked so many questions.
Good. Keep coming.
And if anyone here, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you short. If anyone here has time to contribute to our project, reach out to me. I think we are taking intense, right? we are
this guy.
We are willing to have more people contribute to us if anyone wants to.
Can I get some equity?
You're right.
Actually, you
can't afford that $1,000 stock price. I need some equity.
You love money too much. But if anyone wants to work with like a large team of other experienced engineers, we're more than willing to like have someone else come in. We can take all the help that we can get. We can't say we can't promise you a San Francisco, a New York salary, but we will be willing to like give you stipend or like just like some form of commission, right? So if someone feels like they are skilled and they will be willing to like contribute even as a part-time for a part-time project, working with other team of like 7 engineers, who will be more than willing to like discuss with you more.
Yeah. And so what was your question?
Cameron, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah. So I noticed, I don't know if this feature exists in the app, but I'm wondering if you guys consider like recommended workouts for people who have a goal in mind but aren't necessarily experienced with like which workouts would work best for them.
That's actually great to mention now, because I think before we did this call, like we had our weekly sprints, like our weekly meetings, talking about like all the feedback we've gotten from our last build, and like that was exactly like one of those things. Like for example, like let's say you go to like the onboarding process and you say that you're a beginner. One of the people stated like, if you're a beginner, can you have like beginner workouts or beginner sessions where like it kind of helps you understand exactly what you want to do based off those things. And I think that like hones in on like what we try to represent is like making sure that we have people that could use this platform to not only grow with other people, but grow with themselves when they're ready and they're able to do exactly like what they do. So I think we do plan on like adding something like that, just because we think of this as more than just like an application, but as like a community base where we try to knock down those notions of like, you stay healthy if you do these things for 30 days and that's it. This is like a long-term type of thing, kind of like how Pursuit teaches you, like when it comes to, even though you guys are doing it at like a fast pace, this is like basically mentally training you for what to expect throughout the long term. So it's all about the journey rather than like the whole sprint race.
Yeah. I think in addition to that, when we started out, we wanted to, on the activity page, we wanted to provide users with like workout programs that they can potentially enroll in. So based off of like when you come on the activity page, based off of like your workout goals, say if you're someone that is trying to lose weight, you can see different programs tailored for like losing weight. But the problem we have with that approach is, the reason why we scrapped that out for now was because we had no partnership with gyms. And from our research, gyms are the only one that have those custom programs, right? You can only see those custom programs on like on gym apps. But then we haven't gotten to that point where gyms who want to like partner with us. So we decided, okay, what can be like an alternative route? Like how can we get ahead? And that was the reason why we brought in this concept of like, okay, create your own workout routine, which is like a workout plan according to like your own schedule. So if you're someone that is busy, you want to be able to like do workout 7 days a week, you will be able to like create a workout routine according to like your own schedule. But like Ibrahim said, as we are moving towards the Fitness Trainer interface, we are not just giving, one of the additional tools that we have on the Fitness Trainer interface is for them to be able to create content that will make them have residual income. So say you are a fitness trainer, you are experienced in training clients, you can create workout programs and sell on the app. So say Alex is a fitness trainer, he will be able to train other people, create workout programs for people that is connected to, like clients that is connected to. Then he can also create generic workout programs and sell on the platform, where those programs will appear on the client side, on the client interface, and the clients will be able to like see, okay, I'm trying to lose weight. Then they will be able to like see, okay, this program is like a weight loss program. It's tailored for beginners and all those. They can buy those programs and use those programs. Then the fitness trainer on their end, from that one program that they've created, they can constantly have like residual income. So that's like one of the things that on the Fitness Unite interface.
Thank you for that. And I think I have just like one more slide. So yeah, come support us out. So if you're interested in like testing out our application, if you have like an iPhone device, you could directly message me on Slack or send your emails Alex's way, and then he'll just send it to me. So that way I can add everybody on test flight, so that way they could give us feedback and help us create a more better experience than what it is now. Because I know that the best way to create applications is with the help of others rather than just yourself, always looking outwards rather than inwards. So we also, if you want to follow us on social media to see our growth and our progress, we're starting to like post a little bit more, so that way we could build up this community. So that way there are more people testing out the app than just people within New York. So for right now, we're starting in New York, but we're trying to expand to other places. So that way you could probably see other people that you want to connect with, whether it's like when you go out to other locations.